This video is how to use DeltaMath and how to graph equations in your DeltaMath. So this is for systems of equations makeup. So you will see that this is due on the 11th, so in 2 days from now, if you would like to retake your systems retake. So what you will see here is something that looks like this. So it says, solve the following system of equations graphically on a set of axes below. So the first thing that I need to know is my equations in slope-intercept form? Well, the first one here is. So I'm going to show you how to graph this one and then how to solve for the second one. So it says y equals negative 3x minus 5. This negative 5 is where it's going to intercept on my y-axis. Remember, that's our y-intercept. So if I look down here, I'm going to go to negative 5 and put a dot. So I have negative 5 and I'm going to put a dot. Now, as you see, I'm moving it around. It has the line. It's ready to be plotted. So remember, don't click your line until you know what your slope is. So I'm going to look up here. My slope is negative 3. The reason I know that is because 1, it's attached to the x, and it tells me that it's negative, and the number is 3. So negative 3 from, so I'm going to go down 3, 1, 2, 3, and over 1 since it is negative. So now I popped open my whiteboard here. I need to put the other one in y equals mx plus b form. So my suggestion would be to make sure that you have a piece of paper and pencil, because some of these equations you will have to solve for y. So in this case, I know that there's an invisible 1 in front of the x and an invisible 1 in front of the y. If there's no number there, it's an invisible 1. So the opposite of a positive 1x is a negative 1x. So I'm actually going to subtract negative 1x from both sides. Now, the negative 3 and the negative 1 cannot be combined together because the negative 1 has an x and the negative 3 does not. Therefore, they can't be combined together. So I'm going to bring down my negative 1y equals negative 3 minus 1x. So the last step, since y is not by itself, I need to divide by negative 1. Negative divided by a negative is going to be a positive. So I'm going to have a positive 3 and a positive 1x. So now I can actually graph that equation. I'm going to start at positive 3 this time on my y-axis. And I'm going to go up 1 because it's positive and over 1 because it's also positive. Okay? Remember, underneath every single number is an invisible 1. So now I'm going to look at both of these lines and see where they intersect. So they intercept right here where my little stop sign is at negative 2, 1. So down here, what you're going to input is negative 2, 1. If you click submit answer, it'll say, are you sure? And you're going to hit yes. And boom, we got it correct. So if you got it wrong, it would walk you through the steps here on what to do, just like what we did over here. So then it shows you what the graph is, what the actual solution is, and then it shows your graph and your solution to compare. Sometimes it just might be a simple mistake, like the slope was negative and you accidentally put a positive line, so just be sure that you're paying attention to those. When you're ready for the next problem, you'll hit next problem, and it'll give you another one. It also tells you here, plot 2 points by clicking on the graph and click a line to delete it. So here would be another similar question that we might have. We might have something like this. It'll ask you to put the following equation into a line of slope-intercept form. Remember, our slope-intercept form is y equals mx plus b. So in this case, I need to get y by itself again. So in order to do that, I need to make sure that y is by itself. Well, no, it's not, because it has a 3 attached to it, but it also has a negative 9x crowding up the way. So in order to do the opposite, I need to add 9x to both sides. And remember, since both of those can't be combined because the 27 does not have an x, we're going to leave it as is. So we have 3y equals 27 plus 9x. What's the last thing to do? Divide by 3. So then you get y equals 27 divided by 3 is 9. 9 divided by 3 is 3. So in your answer form, you should type y equals 9 plus 3x. Let's see. It'll say, are you sure? And we got it correct. Now remember, if you choose a different problem, right, and you're like, I still don't understand this, there is also a button up in the top corner here. It says to do a practice problem or see an example. If you click that, it'll walk you through a similar example. Use that to your advantage. Also, let me make this widescreen. There's a calculator over here, a graphing calculator that you can use. You can use a scientific calculator down here. Okay, so you guys have resources. So get to it. If you have any other questions, don't be afraid to ask.